3.
I am Fallon Samuels.
I am Shakila Hewitt.
I'm Kimarley Taylor.
And I'm Kiara Anderson. Our presentation will be on toxicology test.
A toxicology test is a laboratory analysis used to detect and measure the presence of toxic substances in biological samples, such as blood, urine, or tissue. These tests can help diagnose poisoning, monitor exposure to toxins, or detect substance abuse. Some common types of toxicology tests include blood, urine, saliva, and hair tests.
Today, we'll be discussing the preparation of patients for toxicology tests. Toxicology tests help detect drugs, toxins, and chemicals in the body. Proper preparation is important for accurate results. A hair test is done when a small sample of your hair is taken to the lab where they use a chemical solution to break down the hair protein called keratin to release the entrapped drugs for testing. Then you have the saliva testing, that is where they use a swab and place it in the mouth for 2 to 3 minutes for testing. After sealing, the sample is then taken to the lab to analyze, often using an immunoassay readers. So, in conclusion, patients should first be informed about the purpose of the test and what types of samples will be collected, whether it be urine, blood, hair, or saliva. The patient should also disclose all medications, supplements, and over-the-counter products, since these can affect the results also. Patients may be asked to avoid alcohol, caffeine, smoking, and even exercise before the test. Some toxicology tests require fasting for 8 to 12 hours, so you only have to drink water. Sample collection often happens in the mornings to avoid any availability of parameters. Patients must not dilute or tamper with any of the urine samples and should follow all instructions from the technician. The patient should have a valid ID also and complete all the necessary forms before the test, making sure that the form is correct with all your information. With proper preparation, toxicology testing becomes safer, easier, and more accurate.
In toxicology, everything begins the way a sample is handled. A small tube of blood or a small cup of urine can determine whether a patient is poisoned, exposed to danger, or overdosed. Because of this, every step must be precise. When the sample is collected, the first rule is identity. The patient's name, date, and time must match perfectly. No guessing, no shortcut. A mislabeled sample can lead to a wrong diagnosis, and in toxicology, that can change a patient's life. Next comes protection. The sample is sealed, capped, and stored carefully. Some must be kept cool, others must be shielded from light, and all must be handled with clean technique. Any contamination can hide the truth or create false results. Then comes the chain of custody. Every person who touches the sample signs for it. This keeps the evidence safe, especially in cases involving narcotics, poisoning, or legal investigation. It proves that the sample was never tampered with and that the results can be trusted. Once the sample reaches the laboratory, the story continues. Locked storage, secure tracking, and trained technicians ensure that what arrives on the analyzer is the same sample taken from the patient. Proper handling protects accuracy, and accuracy protects the patient. In health and wellness, handling a toxicology sample is not just procedure. It is the foundation of truth, the key to correct diagnosis, and a vital part of patient safety. Without careful handling, toxicology cannot guide treatment. With it, the path from illness to recovery becomes clear.
When the blood lead level is below 5, it is considered normal. However, a value between 5 and 14 suggests early exposure, meaning that there is something in the patient's environment that is unsafe. If the level rises between 15 and 44, the concern becomes serious. The body is being harmed and treatment must begin. A reading of 45 or higher means danger is at its critical point and chelation may be necessary. At 70 and above, it becomes medical emergency. The interpretation is very simple. The higher the lead, the greater the damage to the brain, the nerves, and the organs. Now, let's take a look at the drug screen report. A negative result means that there's no narcotics detected at the cutoff point. A positive screen, however, does not stand alone. It suggests possible drug presence but requires confirmation. Once confirmed, a positive result tells the real story. Whether the drug is being used, misused, prescribed, or taken in excess. In toxicology, interpretation is key. It reveals exposure, identifies harm, and detects treatment. Before any decision can be made between the healthcare team, they listen carefully to what the results say, because interpretation helps to protect the patient's life.
Toxicology is a quiet but a powerful role in health and illness. Every day, people come in contact with chemical, metal, medication, and substances that can either help the body heal or slowly cause harm to the body. Toxicology is the science that reveals which is which. When a patient becomes ill with symptoms that doesn't match any obvious disease, like fatigue, confusion, stomach pain, and nerves problem, it is toxicology that finds the hidden cause. A single test can uncover exposure to lead, drug overdose, poisoning, medication misuse, or harmful chemicals in the environment. By identifying these dangers early, toxicology protects organs, prevents long-term damage, and even saves lives. In health, toxicology guides safety use of medicines. It tells doctors what dose is helpful and what dose is dangerous. It ensures that children, pregnant women, and vulnerable patients are not exposed to harmful substances. It supports public health by monitoring water, food, and workplace conditions. In illness, toxicology becomes the investigator. It explains unexplained symptoms, detects harmful levels of metal or drugs, and helps clinicians to choose the right treatments. It alerts healthcare workers when a patient is at risk of overdose or poisoning. It also plays a role in mental health and addiction, hearing by showing patterns of narcotics or substance use that may need intervention.
Toxicology testing moves quiet and deep, searching for toxin the body may keep. Lead or narcotics, whatever the sign, the test follows truth in a steady straight line. Prepare the patient, calm, clear, and slow. Explain will happen before the sample goes. A breath, a nod, the moment is right. The process begins in a gentle light. Samples collected with careful grace, sealed and labeled, kept placed safe in their place. Handled with caution from start to end, accuracy guarded like a trusted friend. Results come softly, numbers reveal what harmed the body and what time can heal. Reading the findings with knowledge and care guides every decision and step taken here. In health and wellness, these tests can stand strong, helping us notice what's hidden or wrong, pointing to danger, supporting what's true, a rhythm of science protecting you. I thank you.
To wrap up this presentation, a video will be at the end. Enjoy.
Toxicology, also called the science of poisons, is the study of the harmful effects of substances to living things. We normally think of poisons as stuff that can kill or seriously harm us, like cyanide or snake venom. But toxicology looks at the adverse effects of all substances. 500 years ago, the German-Swiss physician and alchemist Paracelsus, the father of toxicology, declared that only the dose is the poison. He realized everything could be toxic. Medicines and even essential chemicals like oxygen and water are harmful if you have too much. We often think only man-made chemicals are harmful, while natural chemicals are not. In reality, some of the most well-known poisons occur naturally, like strychnine from a tree of the same name, and botulinum toxin, deadly in food but widely used as the cosmetic treatment Botox. Chemicals make up everything around us: air, food, water, clothes, and mobile phones. A cup of coffee contains more than 1,000 different chemicals. You, me, and all living things are highly complex and organized collections of chemicals. These chemicals form cells, tissues, and organs, like the heart or lungs. Chemical reactions are continually taking place in our bodies and keep us alive. Our bodies react in many different ways to excessive chemical exposure. Contact with skin might cause irritation or an allergic reaction, but most chemicals affect us when they are absorbed or injected. Each substance's ability to pass through the lungs, stomach lining, or skin depends on its properties, such as molecular size or water solubility. Once inside our bodies, chemicals can cause effects ranging from tiny, non-harmful changes to cells to sudden death. Sometimes ill health is not seen until years later, or even in future generations. Toxicologists identify the harmful effects caused by different chemicals and how much of the chemical is required to cause the effect. By doing this, they are able to provide advice on safe levels of exposure. In doing so, they must consider the variability in a chemical's effects between different species, males and females, children and adults, and healthy people versus those who are ill. Toxicology is a complex and diverse science. It has to be to discover the ways that chemicals are absorbed into, move around, and leave our bodies, and how they impact our biochemistry. Consequently, toxicology includes many specialisms, such as genetic toxicology, which looks at interactions with DNA, and reproductive toxicology, which studies potential impacts on fertility and the development of offspring. Although human safety is the original concern of toxicology, ecotoxicology is the equally important study of how chemicals affect wildlife and the ecology of our environment. Ultimately, we know there's no such thing as a safe chemical, but we also know there is no chemical that cannot be used safely by simply limiting the exposure.